Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you all so much for joining us for another Lethal's Vapor Lounge Live with my special co-host here, Wolf Bite friend, Mr. Frank Wolf. How we doing, buddy?
I'm good. How about you?
Not too bad. As you guys can tell, we've got a very special guest, Mr. James Powell of JP Vape Show. How you doing, my friend?
Yeah, I'm okay, thank you, mate.
Awesome, man. Have you had a good week?
Yeah, it's been a busy one.
I hear that. So what we do is we start off with our buffet, obviously. Just want to give a big shout out to everybody in chat. Thank you guys so much for joining us. But JP, you are the guest of the evening, so why don't you go ahead and show us what you're vaping on tonight?
Right, I've got the Siren 2 on the Wishmec.
Is that the Ravage 230? Was that the Ravage 230?
The Predator.
Oh, the Predator. Yep.
And it's got Juice Cabin's Flute Cure.
Oh. They couldn't hear you guys. I'm sorry. Turn up my volume. I can try, but I don't know how well I'm gonna. That's about as far up as I can get it. How about that, guys? Is that better? That should be a little better. Yeah, that looks like it's better.
Right.
Probably too much.
I'm on the Berg.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
Not bad for a £28 club. And I've got in that is the Lord Cloggington's Peanut Custard.
Ooh, how does that?
Actually, it's not that bad. I was surprised really. I was expecting like a peanut butter type of base, but it's not. Falcon King on the Rinco Metman.
I've heard good things about the Rinco Mechman.
And in that, I've got some homemade strawberry cheesecake, and that's it for me.
Oh, I love a good creamy strawberry, like cheesecake, custards, strawberries and cream. I don't know. I'm a big dessert fan anyways, though. Frank, what do you got? I can see you're on something.
The Just Right Edition Unicorn with a cosmonaut on top of it. And
just waiting to get packed up and sent to me, huh?
And the Banaspati with a Vital RDA on top of it. Vicious Ant with a Reverie on top. And as well as 4-pod, 0-pod. Yeah!
I was going to say, is that the 0?
For juices, we got Liquid, Pony on Acid, and then Illusions Nirvana, and as well as Curve Satisfying.
Yeah. As usual, huh? You like that satisfying.
Hell yeah.
So I guess that's my shot then, what I've got going on here. I only have a few setups. Only a few this time. 4, to be total. To be specific, rather. We've got the Suicide Queen, which is not going to focus because my computer hates me at the moment. But anyways, that's the Suicide Queen with the Equitos on top there. And the Dot Mod Dot Box 300 watt LiPo mod with the Dead Rabbit RTA. Then we've got the Voopoo Drag with the Twisted Messes TM24 Pro on top. And pod system. We've got the Drag Nano from Voopoo. And I'm really enjoying that one. Juices that I've got going on right now are Jam Monster Blackberry. We've got some Southern Vapes and King's Crest CK Duchess, Serial Killer Duchess. And we've also got some Pancake House Blueberry Flapjacks going on as well. So it's very, very nice stuff. Like I said, I like my desserties. I like my desserty fruit kind of stuff, if that makes sense. Not quite like fruit flavors, but they're fruit desserts. So why don't we go ahead and give a shout out to everybody in chat here? Wolf, you want to go ahead and do that?
I want to shout out the first person who disliked the show. I don't know why, but you disliked it already. DC
I
Rackley,
get that
what's
all the
up?
time. All the time.
That's some shit, man. That's Andy Harris, JP Vape Reviews. What's up, man? And that's Chris Storm, aka Tuna. Chris Storm, aka Tuna again. Tiberius Jax, Andy Harris, Manic Stereo, and Super Nerd Vapes, Unicron Soul, and yeah, Vaping Life with Vaping Jason. What's up, man? And yeah, the domino effect. Dude, what's up, dude?
Yeah,
And JJ.
he's got it right, man. Domino effect got it right. God bless the great Commonwealth of Massachusetts, cunts. Yeah, we'll get into that later, though. We'll get into that later. JP, you are our special guest tonight. How are you doing, man? How's everything going?
Yeah, everything's been all right. I mean, I've got a review out done today. Busy with work as well, so
Yeah.
it's constant busy for me at the moment.
Yeah. Now, let's give the people a little bit of background on who JP Vape Show is. Give a little bit about who you are, what you do, and what got you into vaping.
Right, like I say, I'm James Powell. Because, like I say, I host the JP Vape Reviews slash show. The show is more to my lab side of bases. I started smoking when I was 14. When I was trying to quit, I tried the patches, I tried the gum, I tried Sarban. I avoided champets due to what I was hearing, so I kicked that to a side. While I smoked, I was roughly about 20 a day, six variation to rolls, but then the rolls were like different types, like from Samson to Golden Virginia. So, like I say, I like different taste of flavors. When was it? About 6 years ago, when I started coming into more of the vaping scene, I started on a Cigalite. Didn't think much to it. Went back straight to smoking. But as like I say, as it started picking on, I picked myself an Inican up. Started vaping on that, and then I went into the suburb with the Kalita. But still at the time, I was still dual using.
Yep.
That's where the channel came in, give me some more to motivate with it.
Yep. Absolutely. That's that was where I started, like, my no dual use, no smoking at all journey to where I am now. Was when I decided to quit smoking. I decided to start doing some videos, and that I totally get that, the motivation to keep going and not to smoke. It definitely helps. That's for sure. So, how long have you been making videos then?
Just over a year now.
Just over a year. Awesome, man. You just do reviews? Do you do vlogs? Do you do other, kinds of videos? Other content?
It's mainly been a vaping base type of thing.
Okay.
So I had to take a step back due to health issues. I found out that because I was on parent nights, I was going for a phase where I was always tired type of thing. So I was drinking energy drinks to give me energy.
Ooh.
I was winding down, but I don't know if it's that that's caused it, but I've ended up having a fatty liver.
Oh no. Oh
So
man.
I took a break from the review side of things just to get myself sorted.
Yeah. Well, man, I'm glad to see you're doing a little better. Anyways, you know, uh, got to look after your health first, and I totally get
Yeah.
that. I totally understand needing to step back from all of this stuff for a while. It's like we always say, though. Life comes first. Real life happens. So yeah, Freemason 41. What's going on, man? Um, hey, Nate Jones. What's going on, guys? Yeah, we're gonna get to that in just a little bit. Actually, Frank, I wanted to talk some advocacy, bro. Want to talk some?
Why? No, I'm kidding.
Why? What do you mean why? Because we all need to. Peter Muchko, what's going on, my dude? So why don't we hold off on my area for now? But let's talk about some of the other craziness that's happened in the past 2 days, like Michigan. You know.
So let's talk about our very good friend Mike Bloomberg first, because
Oh,
that's really good shit.
let's talk
So,
about him.
so he wants us to ban flavors and then ban vaping, by the way. But he creates this product called Hail, which is Hail is going to be another FDA approved vaporizer, which is one of the products they're recently discussing. And nowadays, dude, like this guy has been so crazy in the interwebs that's like so passionate about his ban for vaping and he doesn't like it at all. That being said, he creates a product like this, wants it to be FDA approved, and then wants another market share, like the IQOS. Good
Hmm.
job. So, was it a shocker to me? Not really. But I
Mm-mm.
mean, you get a lot of those guys where they actually want some market share on vaping because they see it as
A
more,
moneymaker.
yeah, it's a profit for them. So
Hmm.
whenever they ban something, it's a profit for them. That being said, too, like a good subscriber of ours, which is Freemason 41, brother, I love you to the death, that he sent me an article made around the 22nd of September. He says there's the financial motive of Michigan vape ban, and it was on medium.com. And for this article, he discusses about the financial motives of the vape ban in Michigan. So let's say, for example, as to be clear, he doesn't think that a lot of people's hearts are in the right place. How minuscule this, how minuscule and abrupt these vape-related illnesses are, and it's being what we call weaponized. So what does it mean? Basically, this youth gets the THC cartridges and then the vitamin E acetate, which, by the way, you can only use it topically and only applies for creams, ointments, and lotions. And to be clear, it's like how unlike New York and San Francisco, Michigan's ban for flavored e-cigarettes was not voted on, and instead, governor rather, Gretchen Whitmer used her executive powers, same thing as that of Massachusetts,
Cheat.
quote,
I was gonna say that sounds familiar.
and
That
then
sounds very
according
familiar.
to emergency rules, that on selling products immediately, and violators could face 6 months in prison. So, like, let's follow the money, okay? So, following a legal settlement in 1998 with Big Tobacco, many states start collecting millions of dollars from tobacco companies. And that's to reimburse the healthcare costs associated to smoking. And then this yearly payments took form into bonds. Okay? And then many states decided to collect their money in a large lump sum amount rather at once or over time. So what they did was they issue capital appreciated bonds or CABs. Simply put, that the convenience of issuing this comes with a price. Government will repay large amount and also which the states currently are in billions of dollars in debt.
Mm-hmm.
So why does vaping become a threat? It's because vaping turns away these adult smokers away from cigarettes, becoming the youth's vice of choice.
Mm-hmm.
And before even cigarettes come into an equation. And reports also say that because there's less smoking, there's less payments, less money to repay the debt piled up for CABs, and less per pack state collection for state,
Mm-hmm.
right? And then there's also a new article that Mr. Freemason did. I love Freemason because it's usually, sorry, it's usually a lot of things that we talk about with Freemason.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, what happens is bill would protect. There's a bill to that's now created that would protect vape products with low nicotine from
Yep.
vaping bans,
In Michigan.
and
Yep.
it's being introduced in Michigan now.
Mm-hmm.
So Whitmer would now accept flavored vaping with low nicotine strength suddenly.
Which
So
makes total sense. Which would mean no pod salts, no nic salts whatsoever, because those have all high nic levels.
true.
Like 3, 6, and 9. I think that would be acceptable. I mean, I know some people vape heavier nic than that, but
Yeah,
it's
but
something. It's something.
at least you get a little leeway.
Yeah,
That's how you could think of it.
it's
It's
something.
because at least, like, let's say for example, the thing that happened in India
Hmm.
that's completely banned, and that's around 400,000 vapors, I think, that are out of commission for vaping. That's just like, dude, how do you do that? And take a note of it. There's a lot of people dying from tobacco smoking year or not year after, not just year after year, but like daily in India. So that's how they now think of it. It says, okay, I can't get around through this. And remember, think about the timeline too. The THC cartridges came out with vitamin E acetates on them.
Hmm.
Afterwards, they weaponize it and then use it on a flavor ban or a vape ban, essentially.
Yep.
Would they be able to pass this on a regular day? Not really, I would say, because I would say it's not being talked about. Maybe they're aware of it, but as much as we are concerned, it won't usually, sometimes government don't think about it this way, but they actually weaponize that vaping and THC thing. So, you know,
Yeah. Yep.
that's it.
Well, I have to say that does look a little bit better than what Michigan was facing with that new bill being propositioned. I know in the UK, you guys don't have to deal with this kind of stuff. You guys have the TPD right now, but I believe it's going. They're talking about changing it.
Yeah, I've heard about that. Just tighten some loopholes by the sounds of it.
All right.
I haven't really actually looked into it yet, and had an opportunity to.
Now, what do you? I know, like I said, I know you're in the UK, but from the UK, looking at the United States, what do you feel about these bans that are going through and all of the regulation that is going on, behind the scenes?
I just don't agree with it all. I mean, the last couple of days we have a TV show called This Morning over here, um, and they've been going through like the health side of things for like 10, 15 minutes, and the subject that's come up is vaping. They asked questions about it. They said like I said on TV, vaping's 95% safer than it is to cigarettes. So it's out on our big channels and over here. The one question that came up is about the what's happening over here, over in America, about the health issues.
Yeah.
And straight away they said, because look, they're putting THC um, into the vape products with vitamin E.
The acetate.
you know,
Yep.
involved type thing. And it's that that's causing the issues. And it's now to do with the vaping side of things. It was just that section of it.
Right.
So it's been all plus over this side, you know, trying to ensure people over here that vaping's a safe way to go, you
And
know,
I
from smoking.
and
But
you
from,
guys have been saying that for a long time too. And
yeah,
I wish that the United States would get a grip on the facts, and take a look at some of these studies that have been done and the actual factual results of these reports. You know what I mean? Like they're only it's we've said it over and over again. It's misinformation. It's half truths. They're omitting the positive aspects to vaping and only focusing and publicizing the negative that they see and that they hear about, not what they know.
yeah.
And that's horrible. That's horrible.
But it's what really does me is the where they come out and go, oh, think about the children, it's the kids, so what you got. And I go, it's so wrong if you're having an issue with the kids type thing, put something in place, put some form of licensing in place type thing.
Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
it's something I didn't know till a couple of days ago after watching Vaping with Vic with his what's up specials,
Yep.
where if say a teen's gone into any type of shop to buy, you know, something that's for an adult, alcohol, cigarettes, vaping, that the hand over like some that type of ID, you know, fake ID, and the shop thinks it's genuine, and it goes, you know, say it goes down to the cost side of thing, that the child's in the wrong, and it goes, it's the child that'll get punished for it, not the shop,
Yeah.
because they're the one that's gone and done the dodgy
It
about
it
it.
should be on them, right?
Yeah,
It should be, but it won't be. They'll still hold the shop liable, responsible, which sucks. Um,
but I mean, it's even over here. I mean, it's not perfect type of thing. I mean, I'll like I say, I want my little girl to school, and I've got to go past the secondary school, and the amount of times I'm passing um, kids over there, kids that are vaping, and they're not vaping pods, they're vaping smocks because it's a cool thing.
yeah, sub ohm
But like you
tanks and
say,
stuff.
and I know the fact it's not coming from the vape shop because I know them well. They've got like a high reputation in that area.
Yeah, it's probably parents buying them for their kids.
Yeah,
You know, it sucks. It sucks. Gives us all a bad name. It gives us a bad rep.
yeah,
Um, I know there's been some people are usually one way or the other on this, but there's been some talk between me and a few other people. We've had some conversation where we've brought up the topic of underage people in vape shops, whether they should be allowed there or not. And I mean, like, my daughter, who's 13, does not belong in that vape shop at all whatsoever.
no,
We used to bring her in and just sit her on the couch while we went and did our shopping. But even now, I'm just like, you know what? No, I don't want her in there. I don't want her in there at all. One of us will sit out in the truck with her and wait, but
yeah,
it can't happen. If somebody was to watch that, you know what I mean? If somebody was to see me and my wife and our 13-year-old girl walking into a vape shop, that would give them the wrong impression.
Yep.
yeah.
So it's not something I want to do. Now, what do you guys feel about parents bringing their child in if they have to go shop for something? Say they don't, I don't know, for whatever reason they've got their kid with them. Maybe they couldn't leave them at home for some reason or another, or wherever they might have been. What do you guys feel about a parent bringing their child into a shop like that?
I mean, honestly, I think about this in two ways because first of all, I'm a libertarian, so not that I care about whose side of which is which, but the thing is, if I have a kid, again, if they start a vice, I would rather them start vaping than start smoking. So that being said, it's not that I'm not against it, but you can do it in another way or another fashion. So let's say, for example, if your kid is curious about vaping, then you could like talk to him or her about it. But but the thing is, in shops though, if it's under just let's say for example for us it's just 19. If it's under 19, don't bring them into the shop.
Hmm.
It's a rules. But outside your place, if they ask about vaping, then you could answer their questions. You're their parent. It's your responsibility. So
Right, and
that's
it's
just for me.
yeah. See, my issue is not so much with the kid being curious about what it is. Not saying like bring them in because they want to see what they are. I mean like just simply because they can't leave their kid with someone else for 5 minutes so they can go to the vape shop. They have to bring their kid with them, bring them inside while they shop for themselves. You know,
Now, are we talking about a baby or a kid?
children,
Hmm.
whether it be baby, 5 year old, 6 year old, 10 year old.
Because I've seen a lot on my local vape shop. They got an exemption for it. Whereas like they're a kid who's like around 4 years old, 5 years old, and they got into the shop because I mean, if you were also the parent, you couldn't leave your kid outside and just like stay there,
And that's what I mean. That's what I'm saying. Like, you can't leave your kid in a car while you go into a shop. Yeah, it's just bad parenting right there.
Hmm.
So, I mean, if you don't have anywhere else to leave your child, are you going to bring them into a vape shop with you if you need some juice or something? Now, what about you, JP?
I mean, hands up, I'm a guilty one. I'm the one I've took the child in, but it's not like it's a lot slacker over here with with that sort of thing. I mean, I'm in a town type in only a small place, but it's usually if the shop's quiet, it's easy enough just to quick pop in, I'll get what I want, and I'm out. If it was busy type thing, I wouldn't bother
Yeah.
because it's too much hanging about. But if it, cause usually if I go to my vape shop in my own, I'm there for about an hour and a half type thing. I'm a cup of
Oh,
coffee and everything.
every time. Every time. I'll say I'm going there for 5 minutes just to pick up some juice, and I end up being there for an hour and a half. For
Yeah.
sure. For sure. Do you have a shop like that you're familiar with there, Frank? You know, that one that you'll just go to and hang around for a little while?
Yeah, like I'm a solid customer of one of the sorry of the vape shops here, and I really hang around with them, talk advocacy, and they actually know their shit. So
I love that, man, because I have the same thing with the shop that I go to, the one shop that I will always go to until they go out of business, if they go out of business. And I'll go up there and I'll hang out for, like I said, for about an hour and a half, 2 hours, and we'll just sit there shooting the shit, talking juice, talking mods, talking advocacy, making jokes. You know, it's a very friendly environment. It's nice to have that kind of connection with the community in the industry. But all right. So where are we at now? We are at 7:30. Why don't we bring up the elephant in the room? We're going to talk a little bit about Massachusetts. Let me tell you something about Massachusetts. The state sucks. No. Yesterday, if you aren't aware, Massachusetts representative, I think it was a senator. Was he a senator? I don't remember. His name is Charlie Baker. But he's one of the representatives for the state of Massachusetts, and he put out an executive order to an immediate temporary ban for the next 4 months on all vaping products, not flavors, not e-liquid, every single thing, every device, every
$200.
Yeah,
Sorry, I
really.
just have to cough.
Every coil, every pod, every system, everything is gone. They had state troopers going through the state, city by city, and shutting down every vape shop. They would go in and tell the owners they had to shut their doors. He was the governor, okay? And that's awesome, Josh. I think more vape shops should have drive-throughs. Serious. So he put that through, and we are screwed. Here in Massachusetts, we're done for the next 4 months. With all of these shops being told yesterday they have to close their doors, this is 4 months of a temporary ban. I'm going to go out on a limb, and it's not a very thick limb. It's pretty scrawny and should break any moment. But hello, Vapor Swaggins. I'm going to go out on a limb and say that 98 to 100% of these B&M shops here in Massachusetts will not be reopening after the next 4 months. I don't think that they're going to have the ability to survive 4 months not selling anything with no income whatsoever and be able to come back from this. You've got to think about all of their monthly expenses on the building, on the business itself. They won't be able to afford the upkeep. You know what I mean? So by the end of this 4 months, we're going to be done anyways. Essentially, this temporary ban is signing a death warrant to all vaping in Massachusetts. I don't know if you guys have any thoughts on that. Frank, JP, either one?
Like, this Massachusetts thing, man, like, emergency powers to, like, for 4 months? Like, it's being ridiculous to your citizens of you not explaining why that is. And I'm like, it's usually the thing that it suddenly pop out, not pop out of nowhere, because you knew it was coming based on how much mass owns or owes rather on the MSA blood money. We all know that. But the thing is, there's politicians using emergency powers recently and indefinitely saying for 4 months. We don't know if it will continue. Dude, like, let's stop being ridiculous here. Like,
but even if the ban gets lifted, though, even if the ban gets lifted after those 4 months, vaping will still be dead here.
Yeah.
Even if it gets lifted, the only thing we're going to be able to do is buy online, because none of these shops are going to survive this 4-month ban.
But like you say, even if you the 4 months is up and like say the shops are all shut up type of thing, they can't get it open, will you risk investing to it to happen again?
A lot of them won't be able to. They won't be able to invest in it and starting this back up again. You've got rent, plus you're going to be taking a loss as a business right now. Every business in the state of Massachusetts is going to be taking a huge loss because they're going to end up with bad juice. Over the next 4 months, they're going to end up with a lot of bad juice that they're going to have to just toss. You know what I mean? They're not going to be able to sell it. So they're taking a huge loss there, plus rent. There's no way that these shops are going to be able to survive 4 months of no income.
Hell no.
But I also think, in response to something you had said, Frank, I think for me personally, I saw it coming to Massachusetts, but I saw it for a different reason. I saw it because of the trend, because of the way that history has shown us things to go here in the States when California does it. And the more states that get on board, the more states are going to get on board. So the more, states that implement these bans, the more states we're going to see implement these bans. And so I knew it was going to happen. I didn't know when. I was not expecting it to happen yesterday. That's for damn sure. So I mean, I saw it coming, but I saw it, like I said, for a different reason. But I feel bad, man. I feel horrible. It tears me up inside to know the amount of B&M shops that are closing, the amount of employees that are now unemployed, the amount of shop owners that have just lost, potentially their life savings that they may have invested into these businesses. It it hurts. It hurts even if you're not involved in the industry, even if you're not a shop owner, even if you don't work at a shop. You can appreciate the sheer number of people that are now out of jobs and the sheer number of shop owners that have just had their life pulled away from them.
Yep.
You know?
Especially like how will you provide for your family for 4 months? Like how will you say that, hey, I'm your father and I'm currently unemployed for 4 months, so yeah, I've nothing to like bring you home, but the government is protecting you because vaping is bad, like how you say is that how you will say it to your kids? Like it's it's a tough one, especially to think about when this government is thinking, oh yeah, it's for the kids, but there's thousands and millions of people who depend on their jobs on either vape shops or vaping. Now, that being said, would you rather see Grim Green making videos or would you rather see him in Starbucks
Mm.
working again? I mean, if he's working in my Starbucks that's near me, maybe sure, but like you don't want to see him as a content creator now being you know, in jeopardy when he depends on Patreon and he depends on his livelihood with vaping. And he spent so much time and effort not just building this community, but fighting for it too.
Yeah, I mean,
Like,
he's got a company too. He's a
yeah,
business owner himself. And so,
especially like the LA flavor ban or vape ban as well that's happening. So,
yeah. I mean, to shed some positive light in one area, at least it's just a little glimmer of positivity, but at least there are talks about bans including cigarettes as tobacco products,
yes,
including even regular tobacco flavors. There are talks about bans going through where cigarettes won't be a thing at all. So in addition to vapor products, cigarettes won't be allowed either. So that's at least a small glimmer of positivity.
yes,
But it's better. It would be better if they're gonna consider vaping and vapor products as tobacco products. I think that they should be doing the same thing with all tobacco products that they're trying to do with vaping and regulate the shit out of it. If you're going to pull vapor products off the shelves, you need to be pulling tobacco products off the shelves. All chew, all cigarettes, all cigars, everything. The gums, the patches, all of it. If you're going to justify regulation on one product, you need to justify that for everything. You can't just single out one specific tobacco product that you've said is a tobacco product and leave out all the rest. No, those can't be touched. No, those can be touched. You refuse to because they make you money, is basically what it comes down to. But so, needless to say, there are a lot of people that are really, really hurting here in the state of Massachusetts right now. This has been the toughest regulation implemented in the United States to date, the most inclusive ban that's been put out to date, where they're not just restricting flavors, they're not just restricting, pods. They're restricting the sale of anything vape related. And that means anything. So, obviously pod systems are gone. Like I said, coils, cotton. Cotton, I'm sure they've got so many uses for that. You can still get it, but, and wire has been around forever. I'm sure that if you're a builder, you can still get your wire. But juice is going to be a challenge. juice is
Yep.
going to be a challenge. That's for sure.
And I think we've already established too that that's almost the main market, profit for all vape shops is juice, cotton, coils, basically like I mean sometimes mod, but not like every day you sell mods. But those three are very important.
Hmm.
And if you lose those flavors, how then will you be able to sustain your business? I mean, unless like a huge chunk of people vapes only tobaccos, and I doubt that, everyone will be able to vape tobacco because I can't handle tobacco. I can handle menthol as well,
But not
So,
everyone can. Yeah.
hmm
Like
but I
I can
mean,
do it
it's
too.
not for
So
me, but there are some people that could do it.
yeah,
So,
I can. I mean, it's not my favorite thing to do. Trust me, by any means. But I can vape like straight tobacco flavored juice. I actually have something similar to like a straight tobacco in my drag nano at the moment. But a lot, like you said, a lot of people can't or won't choose not to vape tobacco flavors. Either it's absolutely disgusting for them or it's just too tempting to go back to cigarettes for them.
yep.
And that's what it comes down to. It's like you're pushing people back towards cigarettes because you're leaving them with only one option for flavor. And it is what it is. I mean, I don't know. What a What about you, JP? What would you guys do if, say if England went and put in this same kind of regulation ban? What would you guys end up doing?
I don't know. I literally don't know. I
I
mean,
know
look
here
at
in the
that.
States, I know that the United States Postal Service, the United Parcel Service, and FedEx are all going to be looking for packages that are coming from vape shops and from online stores. But they won't be looking for person to person packages. So that's one way we can get around it, is if we have a friend somewhere else that it's still legal to get flavors and stuff from, get in touch with them and set up a sale. But
I mean, with all these bans going in place, I can't see it being long before the black market starts hitting fast.
oh, it's going to start here.
And that's where the issue is going to start.
Yep. Yep, just like the THC cartridges, that the black market is not a good place to be. It's not where you want to be. You don't want to have a black market because that's when people start having problems. And I think that's very, very, very obvious by these THC cartomizers and the amount of kids that have gotten sick and the 8 that have died. You know, it's disgusting at the fact that they want to just kind of encompass all of it together as vaping. I do understand that THC cartomizers are used for vaping THC, which is a form of vaping, but it's not our form of vaping. It's
No.
not using nicotine, it's using THC. That's an entirely different side of it. And those were black market tainted cartridges with vitamin E acetate in them that is a known it's known that when you inhale it, it puts a film, an oily film on the inside of your lungs. This is known, and yet they're targeting us as the culprits, and it's not factual at all, and they don't really publicize the facts as well as they should, at least in my opinion. But Massachusetts is in a bad way. I know Maryland is looking at a ban. We know Michigan is still looking at theirs. L.A., Los Angeles last night had passed a full flavor ban. What was the other city in California that was going after a ban last night? Was it Burbank?
Hmm.
It started with a B. I just can't remember what the name of the city was.
Burberry. No, I'm kidding.
Burberry. I think it might have been Burbank.
It might have been.
But anyways, I mean, point is we've got a lot of
Burbank.
It was Burbank. Okay. We've got a lot of regulation going on here. What's the outlook in Canada right now, Frank?
Oh, we're looking good now.
Are you?
I don't know about you guys, but
Yes, you do. You know about us. We're not doing so good at all.
okay. But us, it. I mean, our racist prime minister. No, I'm kidding. The prime minister that's in charge. Currently he says that he's not looking into any vape bans or flavor bans until it's scientifically proven that it's actually harmful.
Okay.
Which is really great that he is concerned about every citizen of his. But the thing with that is it's a big brother small brother thing. You already know that. Like if your neighbor actually does it, and if the bigger country actually does it, then usually the small countries follow. So that one we'll see how it goes, but as far as we are concerned, it's pretty good. Nowadays, we are subjected to Bill S5. The thing is, it's strictly to minors now, and again, like one of the vape shops that I frequently visit, they've already the whatchamacallit, the health agencies that's subjected to govern on vaping products, it says that you only have 15 seconds or less to check IDs.
Mm-hmm.
That's from the time that the whoever comes in there. Also, that said, one vape shop that I previously went to, they're actually installing like heavy securities. By heavy securities, it's like those point or no, not point and click, but like those click doors that you actually have to press in order for you to open the door.
Mm-hmm.
Like they've already installed that. They've also installed the same thing from exiting, which is like I don't know, but it's kind of like ridiculous how it goes because I mean, if they say that you look like 14 or 15, they could reject you, sure. But aside from that, like I don't see any point of them installing it. But
Mm-hmm.
it's the only battleground that we have is the underage vaping for now.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see if the THC cards actually reach us. But as far as we are concerned, I mean, I know some cardos that are being sold, but they're lab tested, which
Mm-hmm.
you should make sure they're lab tested first of all, if ever somebody's freaking using them.
Mm-hmm.
So
Buy from a
that,
reputable company. Buy from a company that makes their stuff in an ISO lab.
yep, and that's the good. Sorry, I dropped a bottle. That's a good part of it being. I'd say that's a part of it being legal in Canada, as far as it being concerned, is everything that's being sold as long as you buy it from like a reputable dispensary,
Mm-hmm.
and as long as they got it from any lab tested suppliers, which is actually they're being lab tested at
Actually,
the thing that
you just
yeah.
brought up a very good point, something that I forgot to mention about the state of Massachusetts and what they did yesterday. They actually sent in state troopers to dispensaries to get rid of every vaping cartridge. Every THC cartridge has been outlawed in the state of Massachusetts now as well, which that I think is a great move. I think that's a great move. But I think it's also going to open up that black market because people are still going to do it.
Yeah, I mean, that's how black markets work. Like, if you don't have any fair and sensible regulations,
Aiden.
the thing that happens the most is a black market. And what do black markets do? They sell to anyone, whether it's regulated, whether it's not,
Money
whether
talks,
it's
man. Money
deregulated.
talks. Doesn't matter
Yeah,
how old you are.
yeah,
Money talks. That's
hell
the
yeah.
that's the sad part of business is money talks. Black market doesn't give a shit about regulation. They don't give a shit about law. They care about making a buck, and that's what they're out there to do. And they're out there to save a buck. So if they can cut corners and make their e-liquid some different way from what we're used to, they're going to do that. And if something that they put in there, I want to see what cannabis companies in mass will do in response to this. Yeah, absolutely, Swags. Absolutely. Where was I going with that? I completely lost track of thought there. But I don't know. I mean, I understand that the THC cartomizers from reputable dispensaries are a good thing. Those are a good thing, and they help a lot of people. I take it easy, Domino. Big love, brother. But I think that if you're going to get rid of all vaping products, I think all vaping products should be included, in that THC cartridges aren't exempt from that.
Yep.
So I think that was, I was happy to see that they weren't just restricting our side of vaping, but they were going after that side of vaping too. So, but I don't know, guys. Any final thoughts here?
Dude, like
Anything?
this vaping bans that's happening, just briefly remember the fight's not yet over. Basically, we still have this in our hands, or let me rephrase that. There's a lot of fights that's coming around here and there. Just please, if you're a vapor, and even if you're from Mass, from LA, from Connecticut, from Maryland, don't give off that good vibe. And dude, like this is a life extending device that we have. If it has helped your life, be honest to those governors that you are able to contact to, get them a call, and let them know how you feel about it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we could tweet about, yeah, vaping saves our lives, or let's say, for example, we vape, we vote. But this vape ban is important not just for us, but also for your counties, for your states. So let them know as well how much you feel about it,
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah,
Absolutely.
that's it for me.
How about you, JP? You've been kind of quiet over there. You can interject at any time, my man.
Yeah. I mean, personally, I think the people need to stand up and fight because they need to get the community involved. It can't just be a one-person fight. Because how many people across the states are the vapors is enough here to get your word out.
Yeah.
Because people got to start standing up.
Yep.
Got to start getting angry.
Yeah, I feel like there are going to be riots happening over this. I think that there's going to be a lot of angry people, and especially in the state of Massachusetts, man. Like I said, from everything I've read, and it was even quoted in a few articles that what happened yesterday in Massachusetts was the toughest action on regulation of vapor products in the United States as of right now. This is destructive shit. But yeah, no, you're absolutely right, Frank. No, does not matter how bad it looks right now, guys. The fight is not over. The fight is long from over. The fight's not going to end until we make it out on top. We gotta keep fighting, and eventually we will make it out on top. Eventually the facts will come out. People will start to realize what it means to everyone, and I think that that's going to start to put us on the right track. When and how long from now, I don't know. It's going to be a long road, I can tell you that. But the fight doesn't end because we have a full vape ban here in Massachusetts. It doesn't stop because there's a flavor ban in LA. It doesn't stop if this flavor ban and vape ban goes through in Michigan. It doesn't stop. It's not the end point. We don't just give up and roll over and take it. We gotta fight it. Gotta. So, guys, get your calls in, get your emails out, write your letters. And I don't mean write emails, I mean write letters. Handwritten letters and phone calls are way more difficult for the representatives and legislators to ignore than an email. An email is very easy to click the trash button.
I have a better idea. Send them a vape mail.
Send them vape mail? Here's a vape.
Let's see how they could reject that.
Seriously, send them a little starter kit and be like, here, try this for a week and see if you don't change your mind.
Yeah.
But no, it's we got to try and stay positive, even though it looks very, very grim right now. We got to try and stay positive no matter what we do. And we got to continue putting in the fight, putting in the work. Yeah, cloudy blows, conform or be crushed. That's basically what they want to say on that. Suck on this, lol. Send them vape mail, say suck on this. Little note, we vape, we vote. That's right, Joe Jose. How are you, man? Cloudy blows, big love guy. So that's what we've got, guys. What have you got coming up this week, JP?
Like I say, I've done the juice review. I've recently put one of your juices, the Nerdy.
Nice.
Bar out. Like I say, I've just recently got a new camera, so I'm waiting to get the parts for the tripod. So
Nice.
Table cam. That's why I've not really done much in the hardware at the moment, but I've still got quite a bit in to do.
Yeah, I got you, man. I remember. Yeah. I haven't done reviews in a while. Can you tell? I remember when I was doing my reviews, I have one camera, so I had to continuously reposition my camera from FaceTime to top down to FaceTime to top down. And it was just a pain in the ass. A second camera would definitely be handy. That's for sure. How about you, Frank? Anything coming up this week, brother?
Basically, on Crown Vape's channel, we do a show every 5 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Central. That's Wolfbite. So you can also listen to it on Vape Radio every Saturdays. That's 10 a.m. Pacific, 12 noon Central. Sundays, 7 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Central. And replays usually on Crown Vape's channel. Also, Wolfstorm, which is my show with Mr. Chris Evenstorm. We just talk about a lot of stuff in there, so it's gonna be on my channel.
Mostly football.
So, yeah, mostly football. We already know that Wayne Gretzky's the best among the football players. No, I'm kidding. But other than that, Wolfstorm, that's uploaded every Saturday, and also Twitter. I'm only like 3 followers away from going to 100 followers, so usually like if you check that Twitter post, I'd usually just not go on rants, but I tag each and every governor that I know of, and even Mr. Pontus, president of United States, which he is really Twitter heavy. So
you mean POTUS?
We've already like influenced him in a way or another, especially with the news that came up. So never give up, and yes, follow me on Twitter. That's Frank Wolfbite on Twitter. So, and also Instagram. Yeah.
Dope. Well, guys, what can you catch from me? As far as my goings on, you guys can catch me tomorrow morning on Twitch at my my Twitch channel, during my morning Lethal's Game and Vape Lounge. We've got good games, good chat going on, and just spend some time waking up in the mornings with you guys and sharing some time. So we got that going on tomorrow. Also tomorrow afternoon for me, it'll be afternoon for me. It'll be evening for you guys, 7 p.m. in the UK, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You guys will be able to catch me on the Ohm Service Live on Mark Solom Reviews YouTube channel. And then, what the hell are you doing? You're sticking your tongue out and shit. Yeah, you.
What am I doing? What am I doing?
Other than that, I do my daily Twitch streaming every day. Every single day, guys. You can catch me in the mornings. But yeah, so that's what I got coming up. Guys, thank you so much, JP, for being our special guest tonight. It's been a great pleasure having you and talking with you a bit about some of this advocacy and learning a little bit more about you and where you started from. Again, Frank, always a pleasure to have you on the show, my friend. Resident co-host now. So, yeah. Guys, big love. You guys want to say goodbye?
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Well, guys, thank you so much. You guys have been absolute legends. Without you guys in chat, we would have absolutely no show to do. So you guys really help make this show what it is. Thank you guys so much. To all the spanners in chat, thank you guys very, very much for doing such a fantastic job. And guys, please remember that no matter what regulation is going on, no matter how bad things might seem, we are the masters of our own destinies. We're the only ones in this world that can pick and choose how positive or negative our days are going to be. So please keep that positivity high, keep the smile on your face, and let that negative brush off your shoulders. I've been Lethal Coils. He's been Frank, the freaking wolf. We've got our boy JP saying, see you later, hasta luego, hasta la vista, sayonara, goodbye, and we'll catch you guys on the next one. Until then, have a great one. Keep it cloudy and stay safe, folks. Bye.
Bye.